Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
You know, a lot of people out of that team after we lost to Tulane and said must not be very good, and they took it to heart. And we lost to a good TCU team and ended up getting a win, and then we lost to a good Texas team, and we had to go 3-0, get some help, got some help, and those kids went 3-0 to have an opportunity to come here. And we talked about it in the locker room after we beat KU. We weren't coming here for a participation trophy.
It's really confident. You know, why when Ali fought, why was Frazier such a bad matchup for Muhammad Ali, right? And it's just certain teams have this charisma or just the way they play that they become a bad matchup. I think with the Chiefs, the thing that when I watch them play, they're a very good football team. There's no doubt about it. But they're loose with the ball.
When you have 2 losses and you're sitting there on the outside, on the bubble, at the end of the day, this was rewarding TCU for a regular season win against what is now the Big 12 champions.
The number 3 team is not supposed to be 3 because 4 doesn't want to play 3 or 2 or whatever. That's not the way it's supposed to work. Same thing with 4 and 5 shouldn't be that way. 4 shouldn't be there just because you want 5 out because you don't want 4 to go play 1 again.
It was nice to see. One thing we definitely need to work on is our conditioning. We were a lot more out of shape than I thought we were going to be. So we'll have to kind of deal with that this week.
The 11 years comes from the simple fact that the competition for Trey Turner was immense. But the Philadelphia Phillies, from the start, had him as their #1 target. And they're going to put Trey Turner atop a lineup that's going to be missing Bryce Harper.
Here's the snap. Brady dropping, looking. Brady throws. Punt ball. It's caught. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashawn White. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Fire the cannons. Bucks tie the game at 16. Turned over here by Kulak, and he got turned around. Here's Protas again, coming down the middle. He'll leave it for shot. They score! Oh, my, what a shot by Nick Dowd on the drop from Alexei Protas.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in, Tuesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster with you, along with Mike Corson and Mike Hesher, whose job on this program is to make faces during the opening segment so people can determine what we'll be talking about on the show today. Welcome to the show.
Well,
boys.
thank you. I'm still trying to figure out the 4 playing 3 and 5 and 2 and what his numbers game he played there. I'm still.
That's why the sounds of the past 24 hours. We get in and we explain that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, on the show today, Cole Reif, we're going to talk about Barton basketball today. Also, Behnke, Britton, Dutton, and the coach. Derek Joyner will be talking Ellinwood High School basketball. They rolled last night to their second win of the season at the Fairfield Falcon tournament. And then on the prowl, it's day 2. It's Lady Panther Wrestling today with Nathan Broeckelman. So, good show lined up for you. We have sounds of the past 24 hours and the Tuesday sports headlines. But a disclaimer here on this show. I think I had a disclaimer yesterday on this program. When I said it, I was not comparing Sadie Spray to Emily Ryan. I said that she put up numbers. It looked like an Emily Ryan line with 14 deflections and 9 steals. And that smug face of Mike Corson came out. It was like I was comparing them.
But Mike didn't say it. He said somebody else said it.
In my lingo, we call those face crimes. It's when your face betrays you.
Your face betrayed you yesterday.
Your face
so you thought I was comparing the two. I just said that was an Emily Ryan stat line.
I almost hopped in and compared her to Cindy Beck.
Well, you should have.
I should have.
But you were too busy making faces at the camera to start the program out today.
Speechless.
Speechless. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we Hesh?
I'm ready for it. Okay. I'm waiting for the get off my yard segment after
it's going to be a good one today. Yes, it is. Okay. Chris Kleiman, year of ups and downs for the Wildcats. It ended at the Big 12 championship. Kansas State heading to the Sugar Bowl. They'll take on Alabama. That's going to be a pretty good New Year's Eve right here on KVGB. 11 o'clock, we'll have the Sugar Bowl game, followed by the 2 semifinal playoff matchups. How about that? That's strong stuff on New Year's Eve. Hesher will be down there having to work that day. It'll be fixing things.
The Sugar Bowl at 11 a.m. just doesn't seem right to me. That's awful early for the Sugar Bowl.
Well, you want to run it up against the national championship semifinal?
Well, I'm sure it'd have pretty good ratings in Kansas.
Probably Alabama, too.
Probably Alabama, yeah.
Okay.
Heck with the rest of
two
the
of the most populated states in America, you know.
That's right.
Being a TV man, you understand how those ratings
That's right.
Go. Yeah, it would all add up. So this was it. I said yesterday that, you know, when these SEC teams, you know, they're so strong. Okay, since 2014 and seasons when the Sugar Bowl was not incorporated in the college football playoff as a semifinal, it has taken the top available teams outside the top 4 of the CFP rankings. One of those is always an SEC team. The Big 12 has won 4 times in those games. We'll make it 5 this time. Your face deceiving. You can disagree with me.
It is the interesting chat around town is, yeah, once again, is Alabama going to play anybody? But they're just setting it up to be a fail for K-State. But my question, they keep showing Adrian Martinez and says he's questionable for the game. Are they doing that out of politeness to him? Knowing
Yeah.
That, yeah, good call.
You should. That's what you say. You don't come out and say, well, God, he doesn't have. I mean, if Will Howard breaks a leg, yeah, we'll see Adrian in there. But Martinez played well this year until they decided to go to Will Howard and saw what he could do. Herm Edwards, I needed to edit this a little bit. He wasn't talking about boxing. He was talking about how the Chiefs match up with the Bengals, and it's a bad matchup. That was all the talk yesterday. The talking heads on Overreaction Monday. Bengals are a bad matchup for the Chiefs. I don't know. It seems to be. They've lost 3 in a row this year. And according to Mike Hesher's inside information, it's 4.
Yes.
So since I lost my news show yesterday, I had on ESPN2 this morning watching KJM or whatever it is, and they were saying all along, what is it, 4 straight division titles before Cincinnati comes along. So is it now Cincinnati's division? Well,
what Bengal man say on Trading Post today, Mike?
I don't think he called in this morning.
He's probably sore at us.
There was one guy who called in wanting him to call. He was trying to spark a debate, but it is Trading Post, is not Sports Day Call-In Show.
Sports Day Light over there.
That's right.
Trading Post is anything that people want to talk about.
This is true.
We can do that. Okay. Heather Dinich, and I loved it because there wasn't this massive outcry. Why didn't 2-loss Alabama get into the...
There shouldn't be. They didn't even get into their conference championship game.
And they didn't.
They did not.
Now, Cole Kubelik, the SEC network, he bashed the committee over the final rankings. Not because Alabama wasn't in. So since it was kind of complicated for Hesh, we're going to go ahead and run this back again.
The number 3 team is not supposed to be 3 because 4 doesn't want to play 3 or 2 or whatever. That's not the way it's supposed to work. Same thing with 4 and 5 shouldn't be that way. 4 shouldn't be there just because you want 5 out because you don't want 4 to go play 1 again.
Simple.
That does make sense now.
Well, probably. I think he's talking about TCU at 3 and Ohio State at 4.
Yes.
So then you would have Ohio State and Michigan, and I kind of agree with him. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. You rank them the way you rank them. You don't say, what, Michigan and Ohio State having to play again? It's not fair.
Your boy Feinbaum's been quiet. He hasn't been in a while.
That was going to be my question. What does Paul Feinbaum have to say about all this?
I don't think I have that cut available.
Okay. Well,
it's on one of our promos that we have running. He basically was saying Nick Saban made all these arguments that, you know, were interesting arguments, but he was wrong.
He went against Saban?
Oh, yeah.
I like that he's the talking head of the SEC, and he butts heads with.
Oh yeah, he goes at it with Saban all the time. Okay, Nathan Broeckelman. I hate hearing this for kids. I've heard this from Zach Baird before.
Yeah, it was nice to see. One thing we definitely need to work on is our conditioning.
Oh no! I wonder what's going on at wrestling practice at Great Bend High School yesterday and probably today. Conditioning, Mike.
Burpees. Up and downs.
Burpees?
Yes.
You know, wrestling
probably don't do burpees in wrestling.
Is the most that and swimming.
Oh, there's no question, yes.
And cross country.
No, you're just running. Don't squat cross. You're not having to lift weights and everything else. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go with Mr. Cross Country statewide reporter. No, it's wrestling.
I just finished.
You're using every muscle in your body.
Breathing's hard sometimes.
Yes, it is, especially if you're in a double chicken wing. Of course, they'd have to get up because that'd be illegal. But yeah, you're using every part of your body.
Now, I thought we had this conversation. I just finished a wrestling book about a season in Iowa, and they made the same claim that it was wrestling and swimming threw me for a loop. And then I agreed with it while I read it. I was like, wait a minute, those cross-country kids are animals too. More than swimming, huh?
No. Are they going down and flailing their arms while they're running cross-country?
Tepid spit water
and
with sweaters.
And they're kicking their legs as fast as they can go?
Kind of.
They're not sprinting. Not the whole time.
Just keep them.
So
you're going to go with
you haven't seen the gal from Salina South or Salina Central run. She sprinted the whole time.
Does she swing her arms around and trying to paddle water at the same time?
She pats her head and rubs her tummy.
She was
so runs backwards and does backflips. Okay.
She was so fast I didn't even see her. She was like a blur.
You didn't have your glasses.
Well, that's probably true too.
Jeff Passan, the Philadelphia Phillies landed Trey Turner, going to the Phillies, 11-year contract. Also, Justin Verlander. It's the time of money in baseball. Not as many get it as they used to.
I saw they made the moves 11 years on Turner.
That's crazy. How old is he? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask questions I don't know answers to. I'm sorry.
Well, let me look here.
He's got to say in there somewhere.
No.
And DeGrom went to Texas, I think, for 5 years, and he's questionable, too.
He's questionable for can he get through a half a season? Okay, the call last night on WXTB, Rashad White catching a 6-yard pass. Tom Brady, 3 seconds left to go in the game. The Bucs come back to beat Lashley Saints 17-16.
And I got criticized for posting about it. So I was doing something else. I had the game on. I see that they score. And
who gets upset besides Lashley about the Saints losing?
It was Lashley.
Okay.
He said I should stick to my World Cup stuff. But I'm watching the game, but I'm like, Brady can't possibly come back, so I'm doing other stuff. And then I look up and they're interviewing him. I'm like, since when do they interview the losers? And she says, congratulations. I'm like, I better go watch the end.
And the call on WJFK. That's usually the official network for Bryce Harper's home runs when he's playing. Nick Dowd scores a goal assisted by some guy named Protus. And Nick Jensen, a third period. Caps beat the Oilers last night 3-2.
Oh, I thought that was World Cup.
I do have some information about Tom.
Rather high scoring, isn't it?
Tom Brady with that pass last night. Did you know that he passed Peyton Manning for the most career fourth quarter touchdown quarterback? Let me see. For most career fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history with 44. With that pass last night.
A hash nugget on the show.
Well, that
I
was.
like that.
I gave you. I had to go do some research. So
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. It just happened to come up. So yes.
Good tidbit. High school basketball last night. Katy Classic got underway. Hesh is headed over there this afternoon. I'll give you the scores from last night. Girls, St. John beat Spearville 41-34. Ellis over Larned 37-33. Boys scores, Spearville beating St. John 55-46. Tigers 0-2. Ellis beat Larned 53-44. Girls games today, 4:30. Mike Hesher at the mic as they take on the Kinsley Coyotes. Then Maxville plays Buckland at 5. Now, the girls' game will be at Larned High School. It'll be your first time back in your alma mater.
I have been back since then, but, I was thinking.
Haven't seen the new gym.
I'm trying to think if I have or not. How long have they had it? Do you know?
6.
Okay, well, maybe
5.
not. I'll let you know tomorrow. If I survive.
Will you recognize?
I may not. No, yeah. That was my home. I saw some good basketball in that place.
Oh, back in the MSAA. Remember those little booths they had over there?
Oh, yeah. Gary Meserve and Chris Brinkley, my first people who I listened to do play-by-play, those two.
But the other side of the court, It'd be on the, okay, I'm trying to get my direct.
That would be the north side.
The north side, it didn't have a booth around. It just had kind of an area over in the
Right.
corner, but it was great.
Right.
It was a perfect place to broadcast a game from.
Okay.
Just giving you that information. Okay, the Hoyston boys play at 6 tonight against the Kinsley Coyotes. That'll be at the high school, and at the middle school, Maxville against Buckland. Bend Panthers open play in the Kingman Eagle Classic on Thursday against Sterling. Sterling playing in that tournament tonight against Conway Springs. That's the boys and girls. Panthers play. Girls play at 6, boys at 7:30 on Thursday. Then they'll play Conway Springs on Friday. Girls at 3, boys at 4:30. The Falcon Classic last night. Fairfield High School. Ellinwood rolled it up on Pretty Prairie, scored 79 points, and I don't think Pretty Prairie even got 30 in that game. The Stafford boys also beating Lincoln last night. I got the update off Fairfield's Facebook page, and that's what it said. Ellinwood beat Pretty Prairie, and Stafford beat Lincoln. Girls, Pretty Prairie beat Lincoln last night, and the Ellinwood girls picking up a win over Stafford. That was very lopsided. Amos Morris Classic last night in Russell. Russell boys beating St. John's Beloit 52-35. Central Plains boys over Plainville 54-6. Girls scores from yesterday. It was St. John's Beloit 62, Russell 26, and Central Plains 86, Plainville 9. You're puzzled.
You had Plainville with 6 points and 9 points.
9.
I mean, with the 80 points, it makes sense.
86-9. Is that all right?
It's a close one.
Okay.
A barn burner.
Okay, games today on the girls' side. It'll be Smith Center against Sylvan Lucas, Phillipsburg against Ellsworth. And then on the boys' side, Smith Center, Sylvan, Phillipsburg, and Ellsworth, same matchups. K-State plays tonight. They'll take on Abilene Christian at Bramlage Coliseum. 7 o'clock. You can stream it on Big 12 now. And the Kansas Football Coaches Association has announced their all-state teams. Not a lot of representation around here. It's kind of interesting. Pratt had 4 players named to the 3A all-state team. Jacob Nye from Russell making it as a DB on the Class 2A all-state team. And no 8-man because that's the 8-man coaches that picked that. So there you go. Hesh?
Yes, I'm here. News today, this morning.
Yes.
The Tennessee Titans fired their general manager, John Robinson, after they losing to the Eagles 35-10. Former Titans and current Eagle wide receiver A.J. Brown caught 2 touchdown passes, and they think that might have had something to do with them firing the GM, as the guy that he released scores 2 touchdown passes against him. And do I dare bring up that thing called football?
Yeah. World Cup up.
Morocco stunned Spain this morning to reach the World Cup quarterfinals. It'll be a thrill for Webby to know that it was a 0-0 draw, and it had to go to penalty kicks. And it was 3-0 Morocco, so Spain is out.
That's 2 of the quarterfinals so far going to PKs.
Yeah, but see, Morocco's got the Middle East home field advantage.
It definitely. I watched the first half at home at lunch, and it was definitely lopsided. Spain's always one of the best teams in the world, but Morocco had some scoring chances that were very exciting.
How many?
In the first half, at least 2.
2 in 45 minutes. No,
it's a good average.
It's the anticipation that gets you there. So, okay. Hey, Cole Reif coming up. Also, Ellinwood High School basketball chat here on the show. And Nathan Broeckelman talking Lady Panther Wrestling here. It's the Tuesday edition of Sports Day on KVGB.
When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
Learn the skills you need Need to get started in a new career in as little as one semester with Barton Community College's workforce training programs. Get real-world experience in fields like carpentry, natural gas, plumbing, scales tech, and welding. You can earn money while you go to school because most classes leave you with plenty of time for a part-time job or apprenticeship. Classes begin January 10th. Sign up today and start your new career. Visit GoBarton.com to get started.
When it's time to replace your old windows and doors, call your local Pella certified contractor, Empire Improvements, with a full line of Pella windows and door options, including affordable vinyl, durable fiberglass, and luxurious wood. Empire Improvements has an option for any taste or budget. No matter what Pella window or door you choose, you'll know it was installed right by a Pella trained and certified contractor. For the best warranty in the business, call Empire Improvements in Great Bend today at 620-603-0872.
December 16th is getting closer. That's our grand prize giveaway in the Shopping Over the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree from our friends at Mater Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your Brian dealer, and Bauer Computers. Next Tech, 10th and Grant, the place to be today until 5 o'clock. Chris, you got a lot of good specials going on right now.
Yes, if you want to add any new services, we have a promotion right now going on, and you can get up to 3 free months of service.
So you can just add that if you want to add something new to the internet or do another service, or
just stop by and ask us about it, and we can show you all the promotions that we have going on cell phones as well. Hurry up and come visit us before the end of the year so you can take advantage of this promotion.
I like that. And the fiber project, of course, continues. So a lot of people doing streaming, and they have questions on where you guys are at with a fiber upgrade. You can also let them know where you're at there, too. Get in here before 5 o'clock. You get yourself qualified to win $10,000 on December 16th. That's right. Time is getting closer. Next Tech, the place to be at 10th and Grant in Great Bend. Scott Donovan for the Shopping Over the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree. Good luck.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hi, my name is Dalton Jones, patient that I helped. She came in with chronic back pain that she'd been having for years. After several weeks of showing her exercises, several different interventions, we were able to get her back to where she can do her shopping without leaning on the shopping cart at all.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy in Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back. Sports Day here on KVGB. You know, Cole Reif's such a great guy. He was in here ready to go, and then we got the word that the contingent from Ellinwood was here, and he said, well, no, I'll give up my spot. I'll listen downstairs, and this will be good. So they are with us right now. Head coach Derek Joyner in. Thanks for making this visit over here today and arranging for the guys to be here. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you carving out some time for us.
No, we got it here. Britton Dutton is in. Hi, Britton. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good.
And Coy Behnke.
Yes,
so
sir.
A couple seniors here today. And financial literacy is what you're missing today,
yes,
Coy. So was it like a pop quiz or anything?
Oh, no quiz. Just going over some notes with our teacher.
Okay, I don't want to be blamed for. Make sure you get an A on that.
All right.
Okay, and Britton, what you're missing wood shop right now?
Yep.
Okay, is that your favorite class? I mean, are you making a headboard right now, or what's going on?
I got a piece of our new basketball court we're putting in. I was going to carve my name into it, but I'll just do that tomorrow.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Ellinwood, off to a 2-0 start, winning last night. Coach, 79-28 over the Pretty Prairie Bulldogs. 2-0. Thoughts on your start so far?
I think it's been a good start. Maybe we haven't shot it quite as well as we'd hoped, but everything else we've done really well. Last night, saw the stats, 17 assists, 4 turnovers. You can't be unhappy about something like that.
Were you?
Guys are no.
Okay.
Guys are sharing the ball. We've got some new guys, that are playing and giving us a little more depth. So we're getting to experiment with that a little bit. Some guys with some good size, good positional size as well. So giving us some different looks. We got a junior, Cooper Hosman. He played a little bit for us last year. He's 6'1", really good athlete. Mason Moore, 6'3", got good size, really good three-point shooter. And then Campbell Coleman, 6'2". He's probably 185 pounds. Gives us some physicality that maybe we haven't had in the past off the bench. And then Landon Simpson's another guard that's kind of giving us a little depth. He was a really good JV player a year ago. So we've got the 5 guys that, we're all part-time starters or full-time starters a year ago, and then those guys that are really contributing. We also have Asher Miller kind of filling a gap if we need it as a senior.
So what's that done for your rotation compared to a year ago? I mean, you still kind of, 2 games in, you're probably still experimenting a little bit.
Well, still trying to figure out how to play that many players. I'm not used to playing that many guys. In a 2A school, a lot of times you only go 6 or 7 deep. So just trying to understand how to get everybody in, and then also make sure that some of the guys are in those roles. With Britt, Parker, Sheck, and Coy, these are kind of our horses. And there's going to be some games where they play more for Coy and Parker in foul trouble, like lacrosse. Then they might not play as much, in the other games. So it's just trying to learn that and balance that, how that's going to work for us moving forward. But it's exciting to have parts that can come in and give you a lift. And if your other guys are in foul trouble or just not playing as well, they can come in and step in. So it's something we haven't had. It's going to be a luxury that I think is going to help us down the road. And I think where it helps us most is, our practices are way better. These guys aren't just dominating the second team or the 7 through 12 guys. They're getting really pushed hard in practice, so that helps a tremendous amount. And that's always a struggle at the 2A level.
Well, let's see, before I talk to these guys, tell me about seniors. Nothing better than that. So you got two.
So we're kind of spearheaded by Britton here. He averaged 24.5 points a game last year. He's off to a good start this year. Had 29 in the first game, 30 in the second game. Parker Sheck is a 6'4", athletic kid. Biggest challenge with him is keeping him on the floor. He's so active, plays so hard. He seems to always be in foul trouble. We saw that pretty well last night. And then Coy here, he's 6'3", forward. He can play inside. He can play outside. He was one of the top assist guys in the state a year ago, one of the top assist turnover guys in the state a year ago. So he gives us close to double figures in points, but then he kind of fills the stat sheet everywhere else.
Okay. Yeah, Parker's got like a motor, doesn't he?
Yeah, Parker.
I don't know.
His sophomore year, he had the full mullet, and it was his first year with the goggles. So, he was, famous, infamous, whichever word you want to use for that.
The famous Birdman of Alcatraz, yes. Man. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of Kurt Rambis references from my coaching friends about him. And he's kind of a wild man out there. And but then he cut the hair short, but the hair's back. It's not a mullet, but we've definitely got plenty of hair with Parker. But then we got 2 other guys I guess we should mention, 2 juniors that have given us a lot of minutes over time. Alec Brock, I think he took 20-some charges last year.
Yeah.
And then Drew Hines, a good 3-point shooter, and just kind of solid kid. Quarterback of the football team, just real solid, smart, tough kid, and good 3-point shooter.
Coy, tell me about your thoughts on so far the 2-0 start. You got high expectations on you. What do you think so far?
Obviously, our goal is to get to the state tournament as well as win that thing. But it's just the depth is so much better than it has ever been. And say me or Parker in foul trouble, then we already have the 6th and 7th man that are ready to go in the game. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from it. So
I think that some people, as Coach mentioned, that you were one of the leaders in the state assists last year,
yes,
and the ball's in Britton's hands. A lot of teams try to take it out. Where do you get a lot of your assists? Where are you at on the floor?
Right. So usually when they're focusing on Britt, me and Parker are usually able to get open, and when we get open, I'm usually able to drive the gap and be able to dish it out to our 3-point shooters like Alec Brock and Drew Hines, and then Parker's usually on the short corner ready to hit his mid-range shot. So that's usually how it happens.
Britt, good game last night. Got 30 points, and I think it's close to that in the first game against La Crosse. What did you go into with your senior year really wanting to focus on and even improve?
Just getting better than the last years, always improving every day in practice. Keeping energy every game, which we always can work on that. We didn't have that all the time last year, but we've gotten a lot better at it this year in practice. Keeping that up and then just coming out, starting every game strong and ready.
Okay, the opening tips. Say you guys get it, balls in your hand. What's the first thing you're going out? So what kind of defense are they going to try to defend me with tonight? Is that part of the early part of the game for you?
A little bit, but we see a lot of stuff like box and one, zone, and man. So, and we run against all that in practice because we do kind of the same thing as well. So we're used to any kind of defense that they throw at us usually.
Coach, Jeremy Combs was on last week, and we were kind of talking about Cougar Downing and the start he had. I mean, he can score, and I don't know if he was deferring or not, but that's what Jeremy said. Well, I still want him taking shots. So what's your conversation with Brett? I mean, go ahead and get 40 a night if he wants to, but again, you've got some other playmakers.
Yeah, I think the main thing for us when you got somebody like Britton and other good players is that he's always aggressive, whether that means he's scoring or that means he's playmaking. Last night he had 30 points. He had 7 assists too, which is a good number. And these guys only get to play 3 quarters when you're winning by that much. They don't get to play the fourth quarter. They're out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But just that mentality. And, Britt, that's probably – there's 2 places where Britt's probably improved a lot, at least so far in the first 2 games, is that mentality of being aggressive on every ball screen play. Not just saying, okay, we're a lot better than these guys, or I'm a lot better than this guy, so I'll pick and choose. He stayed aggressive more this year in practice and those things. But he's been really good there. And then I think going on his college visits, he saw how much better defensively he needed to get, and his consistency level on trying to defend has been much greater too. And so I think that was a good experience for him to go on those visits. And got some guys just cat quick. Well, I better just start. I got to be on full lock-in mode all the time.
Coy, what you went into the season this year, what were you wanting to improve in your game?
Probably one of the biggest things is just the fact that I'm obviously a passer, but I need to focus more on trying to drive and stuff. Like I think if I focus more on that instead of first passing the ball, I think if I'm there to drive as well as being ready to shoot, I think that'll open up the game and open up our offense a lot more.
Yeah, that's kind of pretty much describes, is that how you see your role on this team?
Yep.
Yep. As seniors, you've got some on the team. Talk about how the leadership and I guess we'll use the word chemistry is on this Ellinwood Eagles.
We have great chemistry. I mean, me, Britton, and Parker have been playing MYB ball since I moved here at least, and Parker moved here. But yeah, we've been playing since 6th grade, and we know just how we work together as well as how to get open and pass the ball, and we know where we're all going to be at the same time, and it's great chemistry.
Britton, go back to your freshman year. I mean, you're on the court a lot, and this is hard to believe that this is your senior year, and now you're heading final season right now.
Yeah, it came pretty quick. It's still hard to believe that it's my last year, but we just gotta not take it. I don't know how to say it, but we gotta just go the same as every other year and just do our best every game.
Okay, and the makeup of this team, as Coach was explaining earlier, how do you see it? I mean, are you still getting those easy looks in practice now?
A little bit, but it is a lot tougher than it has been in the past because we have a lot more players to guard us and make us guard too, and we can mix up the first team and second team pretty good to where the teams are pretty even, and there's good players on both teams. And
talk about your decision to sign early, and has that kind of taken some load off your shoulders going into your senior year?
Yeah, I feel like it has a little bit. I feel like it was a good decision for me because it's still Division II basketball. It's what I want to do, play college, and I know I have fun doing it. It's what I've always wanted to do.
Okay. What's next over at Fairfield, Coach?
Well, we're going to find out who we play in the
finals
between Fairfield and Chase. And then I would say on the other side of the bracket, kind of eyeballing Stafford and Cunningham, it's they're going to be rounds that we should be okay if we play well, but basketball's basketball. You still got to put the ball through the hoop, and so if you're not putting the ball through the hoop, then you better do the other things to help ensure things to make sure you're successful.
After this tournament, what's the rest of the schedule look like going into Christmas?
Going into Christmas, we're going to go play at El Saline. They won their first game against Harrington by 40. I'm not sure what kind of team Harrington is this year. I know El Saline's got a really good group of sophomores, so that's kind of that age where you go from your freshman to sophomore year. You can change a lot physically on the boys' side, so keep an eye on them. We'll get some film on them towards the end of the week and over the weekend. Watch them, and then we have Ellis, who's traditionally been good. I think they're going to be down this year, but they've traditionally had good teams over there in Ellis. So that's what we'll be seeing at going into the break. We're really really focusing on ourselves a lot this year. It's kind of a change of approach.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Reif, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending
Hang on
sporting
just a
events
second
for Barton Community College is great, but did
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
We're really focused on ourselves. We're breaking down film after we watch a lot more of ourselves in practice. We're going to be watching a lot more ourselves in our games. Just make sure we're going to be playing our absolute best, because I really believe, and that's really the goal for me, because I think if we are playing our absolute best, I feel very confident in our ability to win the whole thing. Whereas a year ago, if you asked me, hey, if Hillsborough played their best and Ellinwood played their best, if I was on a lie detector test, I might, say I'm not, I think they're a little better. Where this year, I think it's so wide open. I think we're right there. And so that's our sole focus is by March, we're playing our absolute best.
Kind of like it's hard not to look forward maybe to the Winter Jam this year.
Yeah, I think the Winter Jam's going to be fun. We're going to hopefully last year we were fortunate to get to play against 2 3A teams and a 4A team. We hope to get kind of the same opportunity. Pratt looked like they got a good start against Larned. We played Hoisington this summer. Kyle always does a great job. Their guys always play real hard. They're always real scrappy. So no matter what, you're gonna be in a dogfight.
That's one of the cooler regular season games you'll see in a while. Was the game you guys had with Pratt last year? There's a lot of anticipation for that. Britt, what do you remember about that game over at Hoisington last year?
I remember.
Besides that, they came up short, but I mean that's a heck of a game.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad we got to play them because they were a good team and just a bigger team versus the 2A and 1A teams we usually do play. But I mean, personally for me, I wish I would have played better and help our team out. Or even if I didn't score as much, I wish I would have been able to get other people going more than I did.
I know that's one of the things that last year, maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember now, started going over to Fairfield, Coy. But, you still get to go back over to Hoist and you get to see some different teams when you go down to Fairfield, I guess.
Yep. It's just a completely different ballgame. Of course, Fairfield will give us like a good challenge every once in a while, but when you go to Hoisington, you got Pratt there, you got Hoisington, lacrosse is in there every once in a while. But yeah, it's a great challenge over there, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
Well,
we'll have Southeast Saline this year again, and we're going to their place. We lost on the last.
Well, that'd be an easy game.
We lost on the last time. What did they score? Made it through with about 5 seconds left at our place.
Yeah,
still a little sting, and that's going to be a fun game again. Going to their place and playing them. Coach Flax has a really good team again this year. They beat Heston in the first game of the year. So
and you got Maxville on there too. So
Maxville, and Coach Cuckelman. Those guys are right there. So yeah, you're talking about 1 or 2 team in 1A and 1 or 2 team in 3A on both sides of us. So those are games that these guys really like to play and look forward to.
You guys have accomplished so much. The only thing they mentioned, you know what the goal is. How do you deflect that pressure somewhat?
Well, all I got to do is accomplish is working on getting that COVID super senior year that all these college teams are getting. And then I just push that thought down the road as far as everything. But whenever you're talking about, it can overwhelm you if all you think about is trying to get to that one moment and winning that one game. So the best thing to do is, and this is coach speak at his best, is just stay in the moment, be process driven. Let's have a good practice today. Let's break down the film, see what we can get better at. Let's have a good game tomorrow. Let's, and just take it day by day. Because if you will get overwhelmed and you might get too much anxiety and not play at your best if you start thinking about it all in its totality.
Great Bend gets Sterling Thursday.
That's going to be interesting.
What can you tell Panther fans about Sterling?
Sterling has lost guys from a year ago, but they will play a very similar way. They're going to have 2 big guys. And I mean, they're big and strong guys. So he might, his 3 out 2 in might change a little bit there. They're always going to be a very good defensive team. So it's just going to be one of those scrap it out kind of deals. Sterling usually plays a unique defense where I call it dork somebody. They just don't guard one guy and he stays in the paint and he helps all the time. And they just dare that guy to shoot. Don't know if that will work against like a 5A school.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, and we're familiar with Great Bend. We played them this summer, so we're familiar with them. I'll say, I would invite everybody to go to the Ellinwood games, but if you're gonna go to a Great Bend game, Coy's first cousin, Ian Bremer, that guy's gonna.
He's not bad, is he?
He's gonna be a dude. Britt signing a 4-year NCAA. Ian has that ability, and Ian. And he could probably maybe do it in more than one sport. I mean, he's going to be a guy.
Yeah, he didn't look overwhelmed at all in his first varsity game at
play.
Junction City the other day. Coy, good luck, man. It's going to be fun to see you guys go, and hopefully see you over at the Winter Jam. Britt, congratulations on making your college plans, and now just go out and get those goals that you guys are wanting.
Yep, thank you, sir.
Okay, appreciate you guys being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
Sports Day here on KVGB. Let's see. Cole Reif coming in next.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Reif, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Farmers depend on their equipment, and equipment depends on its fuel. Cenex Premium Diesel works as hard as you do and comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster even cleans up your injectors and prevents injector fouling, so your equipment can keep firing on all cylinders to make every day a field day. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Nice ride. It's so average.
You're better than average. And so is your ride. So get your ride to DL Window Tint, 1724 22nd Street in Great Bend. Bigger, better shop. Same great prices and top-notch work. Anything mobile, audio, or video. Remote starts, lift kits, windshields, you name it. If it can spice up your ride, Daniel can do it. At DL Window Tint, 1724 22nd Street in Great Bend. Like him on Facebook for sweet deals.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
The Jimmy V Classic. Second-ranked Texas faces number 16 Illinois. Then it's Iowa versus 16th-ranked Duke.
Coverage at 5:30 Tuesday on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
I was going to look around and see which mic you're on here. Okay.
I think I got 3.
Yeah, rolling on 3. Okay. Cole Reif in with us now. Took the long trip to Coffeyville on Saturday, and unfortunately the Cougars come up short in a couple games, and back up to Cloud County tomorrow.
You know what I found out? That 4-hour drive isn't that bad when you ride on the van and you sleep the majority of it. It goes by pretty quick. I was lounging out there in the athletic trainer's van, and they don't, for whatever reason, maybe it's just because it's Coffeyville, they aren't taking as many. Or they didn't take, because usually, like last year at least, there was about 3 trainers, and there's like 2 red shirt players that would jump in that van, and it was pretty crowded. So if you took the van, you're going to be elbow to elbow. This time there was, we had 2 Doc, Kelsey were up front, and then there are 2 student athletic trainers, and then myself. So we had 3 full rows. Those vans are huge. So I was lounging out there, laid down, and the trip goes by pretty quick when you have your eyes shut. For
I'd be worried that I'd start snoring.
Oh, I guarantee you I probably did. Because anytime I'm on my back, that's when it's, if I'm on my side, it's fine. But in a van, I can't sleep on my side.
Yeah, I don't think they would really, they'd frown on, bringing my portable CPAP machine on there. You look like Hannibal Lecter, down on the bus.
But those 2 young whippersnappers, they knew I was the old guy. So if I started snoring, it was like, yeah, it's expected. He's old.
Man, a couple tough losses, and the way the standings are for each team, especially the girls or the Lady Cougars, kind of dropped them back in the pack a little bit.
Yeah, you're still obviously within the game. It was early going, but, at least within 1 loss, because Butler stubbed their toe to Coffeyville, but Coffeyville's lost to Dodge City. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You talk about if you wanted a get-back game, you got a good one tomorrow night at Cloud County, because Cloud County is really good, and they're coming off their first conference loss. So another 1-loss team that's ahead of you in the standings on the women's side. So, and then the men, Cloud's right up there too, ahead of you. They've been really, really good. 2 experienced teams. The women a little bit different. They brought in some transfers, but they brought back a really good physical girl that caused some problems last year, rebounds the ball well. It's just tough. They're just tough teams. And then the men's team's really experienced. I kind of maybe
have overlooked Cloud County as far as how much they returned. They had kind of a mediocre season on the men's side, but they brought back a lot of those talented guards and even some of their forwards. Kearney, he's back. Sawyer's back. Athenian is back. So yeah, they got a lot of good talent that came back from a year before. So, and I always felt like they were kind of on the verge of being pretty good last year. So bringing them back, they have all the experience. So it'll be fun tomorrow night. So if you're looking for a game to get excited for, I mean, I know Cloud County hasn't had that program name over the last few years, but these are two good teams here in 2022.
Yeah, busy finish to the Christmas break here. You're going to have, we got Saturday and then Monday again.
Bam, bam, bam. Pratt coming up on Saturday, final home game of the first semester. So those will be afternoon games, 2 and 4, and then you head out to Butler, and really good on both sides. Man, it's fun. I mean, because I think every year you go into a season, and especially coaches, you hear them say, "Oh yeah, top to bottom. These, this conference is tough, top to bottom." But it's like, in the years past, there's about yeah. In the years past, there's like a third of the bottom that you're like, yeah, okay, those are wins, or you made sure you weren't on that bottom of the third. This year, I don't think you really have that. I mean, the women's teams, I think you got 7 teams that are vying for the top spots. Because you got your traditional ones that are down a little bit, but they're still up there. Like Seward County and Hutchinson are having their struggles on the women's side, but they're still up there. And then you have Cloud that has reemerged. Dodge City had a really good year last year with Coach Steele. He's back for his second season. They're really good. They're nationally ranked. Then you have Barton. Coffeyville's back. I mean, I know that was a program name, but kind of dropped off. They're back in the mix now. Yeah, I think you have 6 or 7 teams that are really, really good on the women's side that are going to vie for a spot.
Does that mean they're all great teams?
No.
Or they're just good teams?
I think they're good. Okay. I think they're good. I don't think you have a dominant team at this point. I thought you had a chance to see where Barton was going to lie. And I think that game at Coffeyville on Saturday, not that they overlooked Coffeyville. They knew they were good, but I thought that was a pretty good reality check of like, hey, we were preseason number 2 in the conference. We started out in the preseason poll, ranked in the top 25. We're going to be dominant. I mean, that to me, I left that thinking of Lee Corso. Not so fast. Not so fast, my friend. If you thought, you were going to push through, not an undefeated season or anything like that, but if you thought you were going to push through and just be this dominant team, the Jayhawk, I thought that Coffeyville game for the Lady Cougars was kind of a reality check. It's not going to be easy. I mean, you might be really, really good, but there's still a lot of other talented teams.
So what Coffeyville do besides, Barton shot horribly in that game, 26%. So
there wasn't much open. I mean, they had a few good looks from outside. They had another poor shooting night. I had the numbers. Barton was. I mean, they're still shooting at a really good percentage. I think they're second best in field goal percentage. But Barton shot 44% or better in their first 7 games. Their last 4 games, 39% against Cali, 30% against Hutch. Shot really well against Indy in that dominant win at 48%. And then shot a season low 26% against Coffeyville. So you talk about even that Cali game was a grind out fourth quarter. They shut them down defensively, but it was not pretty. 39%, 30% at Hutch, 26% from the floor against Coffeyville. So they haven't shot well. But I thought Coffeyville did a really good job defensively. That was the first game. Granted, it's only a second loss, but I thought Coffeyville won the game. Because you go back to this previous Saturday, I thought Barton kind of slipped up against Hutch. I thought, give credit to Hutch, but I thought Barton blew it. That was a game that they should have won. That Coffeyville game, they shouldn't. That was the Red Ravens. They were better. They were better that day. Obviously, they get to come to Great Bend, but Coach Clark was talking to me. Obviously they doubled Jenny a lot, and she had some tough shots, but she still was getting close shots and had probably her worst shooting. I think she was 3 for 14 from the floor. And as a post player, that's a pretty big concern when you're missing a lot of shots close to the basket. So yeah, I thought Coffeyville was just really soundly good in that game, and they had Barton out a lot of sorts.
Are you seeing teams doubled? Because, if you double down, you're taking your chances out there on those 3-point shooters, aren't you?
Yeah, they recovered, though, pretty nicely.
Yeah. We need to have more spacing here?
I always feel like, Herkelman court is smaller when you get out there. It feels like a tinier gym, but, it was not the case.
Okay, as nationally, would rankings...
They're out. They're the receiving votes category. So there's
both of them now.
No, the men stayed at 25.
Okay,
they have some clout still apparently because I thought there's a chance that they would fall out as well, but they stayed in the top 25. I think losing to the 11th ranked team in the country on the road in a game under 10 points, that helps out. So, I mean, if you lose not a bad loss, if you will, at Coffeyville, and so that kept them, they dropped, 3 spots. So, but the women, yeah, they're receiving votes, so they fall out of the top 25. The women never have a whole lot of teams that are receiving votes, so you're still really close. So you got to imagine Barton's probably like 28 in the country at this moment.
Okay, so yeah, you're one of the RVs.
You're one of the RVs
One
now.
of the RVs. Okay, going to Concordia, does Jeremy Combs have the same unique relationship with Fletch's favorite fan up there?
You know what? It's early. There's only 1+ years, but I haven't seen some of the same familiar faces that we've seen in the years past that have come out to watch the Fletch show. Because it's not that like Barton's bad. I mean, they might be really successful, but I think a lot of people came out to watch the Fletch factor. Let's put it that way. The Fletch factor. He was an entertainer. Like, I mean, he was fun to watch down the sideline, whether you loved him or you hated him. Like, he was entertaining. I think more and more people, especially fan bases, grew to love him. I mean, even though like they wanted to beat him and they wanted to rub it in his face even more than anybody else in the Jayhawk, I think more and more people loved him. But yeah, it was entertaining.
Well, that was a touching moment at the end because Fletch would go. Bring
roses,
flowers.
Yeah, I mean, not just cheap flowers. I mean, a lot of times there were maybe a dozen roses, right?
And it was heated.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like Fletch,
but he won her over.
He won her over.
Just get to know me.
Cole Reif with us right now, and thoughts on the Chiefs over the weekend?
Oh gosh, again, I go back to my conversations in game with some of my friends, and it was one of those games where they should have had. Like, it could. But then my other friend is very pessimistic, so he was like, who have we beat? Who has Kansas City beat? I mean, look at their schedule. Okay, Tampa Bay, not as good. The Chargers, they're a 500 team. Vegas beat them. San Francisco. I mean, like you start looking at their wins. They're not that great this year. And the two teams in the AFC that you probably stack up against, you lost to Buffalo, and you lost to Cincy. So are you the third wheel in the AFC right now behind Buffalo and Cincinnati? Behind Cincy, but I think you are record-wise. You're still ahead of Cincy, and luckily Buffalo and Cincy still have to play each other, so you at least get one of the laws. You kind of root for Cincy, I guess, in that ball game as far as record-wise to get the number 1 seed. But eventually you got to win those games. They're capable, but they're definitely, to me, shown if you didn't know already, they're not invincible. So I think Buffalo and Cincinnati, those are going to be tough games, whether it's at home or on the road.
Now, it's our role to question future Hall of Fame coaches on this. 4th and 7, man, I'm going for that.
The field goal attempt?
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Because
I was
even if you don't miss
it,
they got it the same. Is Andy losing his nerve? All of a sudden, he went from he never would do that, and then he would go for it every time. Because if you got a tying field goal, I really wasn't that confident that they could keep Burrow from not at least getting a field goal to win.
No, 3+ minutes. So that would have been pretty easy sledding. So I thought that was questionable. But and again, it's one of those things where you should have won. Yeah. I mean, a Travis Kelce fumble, his first of the entire season. When at that time you're up by 4. I mean, at the very least, you put it to a full 7 points, or you put it away by getting a touchdown and making it a 2-possession ball game at that point. And then after that, you had another drive, obviously, that you could have gone down and still taken the lead, and then settle for that long field goal attempt. So there are places. I did want to bring up before you. Am I going to get the hook?
No, because I can't.
Okay,
Corson had some problems with.
All right, they brought out those all-state teams, and I've always questioned when I see teams that have players represented, and not say they didn't have great individual seasons statistically wise, but then when you see teams that have had a lot of success team-wise, and obviously I'm a homer, Hoisington would be one of those teams that I cover that consistently has success, but because maybe it's more by committee, they don't necessarily get the individual accolades at the end of the season. And yet, if you stacked Hoisington up against some of these other teams and you said, hey, go take on this guy that's going to be named first team All-State or whatever, I'm taking the Hoisington kid. So I would always like to see, I know when you're looking over things at the end of the season, coaches, media people, whatever, they have to look at the stats and they might have good stats. but I would still take 3 or 4 Hoisington guys that did not get recognition or made honorable mention that thought should have been on a team over some of those guys that made it to the state selections.
Pratt got 4 on there in 3A.
You know, Pratt's really good. I'm not gonna knock. I mean, Pratt came in there and whipped
that
up on.
Kicker's pretty good.
Yeah, the kicker's really good, and you know, Ben Skoik is really good as well. But Pratt's not the one I'm talking about. There are a few others. I'm not going to mention names. I'll talk to you afterwards. But I was like,
I'm seeing one that's highlighted right now.
Come on, like let's go. Like I get he had the individual numbers, but there's about 3 or 4 guys that didn't even get a sniff on Hoisington's team that I thought are better than some of those guys on there. That's just that's my take, and I'll sign off now.
Cole Reif, he of the tweeter is that on the tweeter?
Well, no, I just saw the list come out, and obviously I scrutinize it when they come out. That's my job, right?
Yeah, I was looking for at least a couple Hoisington on there. Not to be had. Cole Reif with us. Back with more of Sports Day after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Let technology bring you closer this holiday season to loved ones near and far. With unlimited data as low as $25 a month, you can get the phone you want with the features you need from the best people. Next Tech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV.
You can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction. They have quite a few jobs scheduled for the new year, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Learn the skills you need to get started in a new career in as little as 1 semester with Barton Community College's workforce training programs. Get real-world experience in fields like carpentry, natural gas, plumbing, scales tech, and welding. You can earn money while you go to school because most classes leave you with plenty of time for a part-time job or apprenticeship. Classes begin January 10th. Sign up today and start your new career. Visit GoBarton.com to get started. Due to some technical difficulties, unable to bring you that Nathan Broeckelman interview today. So, I don't know. Yeah, they wrestle on Thursday against Dodge City. Maybe we can run that tomorrow on the program here on Sports Day. So we'll see if that's going to be possible. Hey, basketball tonight. College basketball, the Jimmy V Classic. We'll have a doubleheader for you. Coverage at 5:30 will bring you game 1 of the Jimmy V Classic. That's going to be Texas against Illinois. And then Duke against Iowa in the second game of that doubleheader. So Jimmy V Classic coming up tonight here on KVGB. I think Panther Prowl. Let's see, Cindy Beck's going to be on tomorrow. It may bring you some more Nathan Broeckelman. And a surprise guest. We haven't got one yet. We'll figure it out. Talk to you tomorrow.